I would say the form that Trump is threatening us with is even worse. And
which is what?
Well, I mean, he doesn't
the whole
concede elections. You know, the elections only count if we win theory of government.
Okay.
Well, come on, you know Trump he still has not conceded the election. He has not conceded. He does not honor the...
Okay, I mean, do you know for a fact that he lost? I'm just curious.
Okay.
Welcome back, everyone. Today we have Bill Maher bringing on Oliver Stone onto his podcast, the Club Random Podcast. And when Bill Maher got into the discussion with Oliver Stone about election fraud and elections and Donald Trump's and things that, you know, Bill Maher just gets absolutely shut down on the daily, humiliated here by Oliver Stone. I mean, let's just get into this clip where things get pretty heated between Oliver Stone and Bill Maher here on the Club Random Podcast.
You can't take ivermectin and whatever and the other things. So it's the law, the concept of authoritarian government that is really bothering me, and I think it bothers you. This
authoritarian, yes, of course.
Biden saying,
well,
you know, we've got to take the vaccine, you know, and you have.
Yes, that's one form of it. I would say the form that Trump is threatening us with is even worse. And
which is what?
Well, I mean, he doesn't
the whole
concede elections. You know, the elections only count if we win theory of government.
Okay.
Well, come on, you know Trump he still has not conceded the election. He has not conceded. He does not honor the...
Okay, I mean, do you know for a fact that he lost? I'm just curious.
Okay. You're going to make me...
I just don't know all the facts because...
Well, I do. Is there a conspiracy theory you don't believe?
Oh, come on, Bill.
But Oliver...
You know I'm intelligent.
Intelligent? Of course you are. But look, I've had many people sit here and I've said the same thing to them. Like, the key to getting along in America is not getting into these tribal things. It's understanding that you can have somebody in your life who you go, for A, B, C, and D, we are so aligned, and the person is so smart, and they really get it. And then E.
But on E is when Donald Trump's name is brought up, and people like Bill Maher just lose all sense of reality because they have such extreme TDS, and it's so funny they keep going back to people like Bill Maher, and others like him keep going back to Trump, never concedes elections. All they have is whataboutisms, and what Oliver Stone is saying is what Joe Biden and his regime did when they were forcing people to take certain things, inject certain things into them. That's authoritarian. That's what Oliver Stone said, and Bill Maher agreed, but then he goes to the whataboutisms because he had nothing to say against them, so he has to say, what about Donald Trump? What about this? He's way worse. And Oliver Stone goes, well, what are you talking about? What part about him? The whole thing, or what specifically? And Bill Maher just hates the fact that Trump doesn't concede elections, and it makes him authoritarian. So the fact that he doesn't get on his hands and knees and grovel and say, oh, I'm so sorry I lost the election, that's what makes him authoritarian. What about the fact that he left the White House willingly on time, didn't stay a second longer than he was supposed to? Does that not kind of play into the fact that maybe he can see that he lost the election, whether or not he liked it or agreed with it, or something nefarious going on in the background, which I think if you look at the numbers between the 2024 election and the 2020 election, you can kind of see there was something weird going on in 2020 and definitely agenda being pushed. But regardless, he did concede. He left the White House. He let Joe Biden and Kamala Harris enter. He didn't even try and rally the military to go fight him or make sure they secure the perimeter of the White House so I can stay inside. He never did any of that. He never tried to, you know, use his power to stay in a day longer than supposed to. He left willingly. So I don't know what they were expecting, but let me know in the comments below if you agree or disagree. I think this entire topic is insane as always, but let's get back into it.
Each of you thinks the other one's crazy. And there's a couple of those with us. But we got A, B, C, and D. And so we'll start with that. Yes, that's got to be enough. You can't make people agree with you on these things. And you're right.
I'm just asking you. I'm not an expert on the election. I'm not a political junkie. You are, and you follow it very closely.
Okay, all right, then I'll give you the thumbnail sketch. They tried it in 60 courts. It was laughed out of every court, including by Republican judges. The people who saved this democracy were Republicans, good Republicans in states where Trump pressured them, like the one he's on trial for in Georgia, find me 11,000 votes. It's on tape. A guy like that saying to him, sir, we just don't do that here. I voted for you. I'm a Republican, but we just don't do that. That's what saved us. And they were Republicans. So you don't take their word for it? I mean, it would...
Well, I don't know. I mean, you went through the 2000 election. That was horrifying to me, what happened when the Supreme Court closed that down. You know, what happened there? I mean, you know, the popular vote was won by...
So what, should we just keep counting votes forever? I mean, should we still be counting the 20?
Count them correctly. Let's just get rid of the Electoral College. Let's do a popular vote.
The people who have testified that this was a fair and well-run election...
If you enjoy content like this, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out a ton. Let's get back to the video.
It's a who's who of people like Bill Maher, Mitch McConnell. You're talking about Liz Cheney. You're talking about dyed-in-the-wool, serious conservative Republicans who went with Trump really further out than a lot of us thought they would go with a guy like McCain's not a war hero. Okay, we'll forgive you. Lots of shit that he did, agreeing with Putin at Helsinki against our intelligence agencies, but I know we don't want to talk about Putin. But it's like, what will they... We found the thing that was their safe word, the thing that made them go, no, that's too far. And it was, we have elections in this country. If we don't transfer power peacefully, if somebody doesn't just be an adult and say, okay, you can't win them all, we lost that one, good luck, sir. When Obama became president, George Bush stood with him and he said, we want you to succeed. They don't do that anymore. Not that I love George Bush, but what a great moment. So
what do you think happened in 2000?
So they really want Donald Trump. Bill Maher really expects Donald Trump to go to the side that tried to impeach him multiple times, tried to throw him in jail over and over again, tried to say he colluded with Russia, committed actual treason when it was actually their side committing treason the entire time. They really want Donald Trump to go up and say, I wish you the best. The side that tried to throw me in jail, defame me, take me off the map, literally multiple times on live television, tried to impeach him. They want Donald Trump to go to that side and say, hey, I wish you the best. I hope you do great inside the White House. Here's a pat on the back. Have a great life. It's not going to happen, okay? Maybe someone, honestly, if Donald Trump were to do that, it would not be looked at as lesser, right? Like his fan base, the right wing of America, they would think that's a really cuck thing to do, in my opinion. If somebody did that, I would think a bit less of them as well in terms of a power figure, someone we voted for. I would say, dude, you're just being a cuck. You're completely, you're folding after all that noise you made and going. You're just gonna gravel to this other side and basically just bend the knee to them and say, I wish you the best. Hell no, it's war at this point where all the shit he had to put up with. This is the war between one side and the other. I don't know if they genuinely want the best for their side. I don't know Donald Trump's true intentions, but I definitely know that he's better for the country than the side with the agendas being pushed with DEI, LGBTQ. I don't even want to get into it, but I guess it is a war at this point, and it's unfortunate it's this way because I wish it was just kumbaya and everyone was all friends, but there's one side that hates America, and it's very obvious that they hate the way we do things and stand for and have come up. And there's one side that wants the best for America and doesn't want this country to be overrun by immigrants and DEI and all that other insane shit. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, though. This one, again, just an insane topic to cover. Let's get back into it.
Well, they stopped the vote. Well, first of all, the governor's, the candidate's brother was the governor. And the lady counting the votes, remember Cruella
Harris. Catherine Harris.
I remembered the name wrong. Cruella DeVille, but you're right, Catherine Harris. I mean, could there have been shenanigans? Look, there was shenanigans in the Nixon-Kennedy election on the side of the Democrats.
Yeah,
I mean,
always.
Plainly, Joe Kennedy, right, brought that election for his son.
I'll reserve judgment because it was Chicago. It was the Illinois part more than the West Virginia part. And that was Daley, and he was the boss there. And Daley did his own policing and this. But actually, I think Kennedy won the election. I really don't. Wow. That one is it's tight. But what I'm saying is
the one that's the easiest to get on board with. You're like, no, that's I need all the facts on this.
Well, I don't know the facts, and I think I would trust the accountants more than the politicians. And I'd like to know what the accountants say, the guys who vote, who know the most about votes, who do the electoral commissions. You know, I can't take Biden's word for it on anything.
It's not his word. It's the Electoral Commission. It's Trump's own election security guy who said this was the most fair, well-run election that we've had ever.
Really?
Yes.
I don't know about that.
Okay.
I don't know about that.
Well, I mean, if there's nothing that can be said or argued that would convince you,
I think what shocked people was
then
that
it's called a closed
Trump
mind.
won so many, got so many votes. You know, that was what was shocking, that he did so well compared to what he was expected to do.
Right.
Because we believed all.
Why don't you believe
East
he
Coast,
could have lost?
We believed all the East Coast, the media elite, that he was going to fail, and boom.
Yes.
They were wrong. We love to see them being wrong, don't we? The media elite. Because they really
they're wrong
hated.
a lot,
They
yeah.
went too far in hating, in dumping on Trump, and people don't like that in America.
You're right.
They don't like dumping on.
You're right.
And they did it too much.
Well, yes, I was actually having this discussion about the CNN network recently, and you know, I want there to be a CNN in the world. You know, something that I used to be able to count on them, and I still do some.
What a joke.
Some of it. To just give it to me straight.
I don't want there to be a CNN in the world. I don't want there to be a media conglomerate in the world. I think there should just be all independent media. I think that the cream should rise to the top. Naturally, people are smart enough now. People are very much smart enough now to, you know, where if everybody just gets to talk, everybody has a voice, nobody's censored, nobody's being cut off from saying what they have to say. No CNN, no MSNBC, no conglomerates that own Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, these news outlets. Everybody gets a voice. People are smart enough to decipher who's speaking the truth and who's speaking nonsense, and they get the truth they listen to. I think that's how it should be. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this podcast here. And as always, like and subscribe. It means the world, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.